Hi everyone, it's Trishna, and it's time for a collective reading. Let's focus on love. All right, let's get into it. I feel a sense of excitement, but to me it feels really grounded. It feels like this excitement is just not over the top. It's not about something that is yet to come. It feels like it's about something that is a lot more tangible. It's something that is pretty much set in stone if it's not already officially set in stone. I feel this sense of practicality in the mind, so maybe in the past you're a little bit dreamier, maybe having a grander vision of things, doing a bit more fantasizing about your life and the things that you want for it. But now I feel like because things are more stable, because things are more tangible, there is this more practical view of things. And I don't want to say that it's practical versus being dreamy. I actually feel like it's not just practical and it's not just on the other side of the spectrum. It's rather a really nice balance of the dreamy and the practical together. And I feel like this kind of mentality is going to be something that lasts for about it could be 8 weeks, but I think it's going to be 8 months. And I think that it's a really good approach to have for this time period. With that said, once that time period ends, you're going to look back and think, you know what? I was way too laser focused. I should have been broader. I should have kept a more open mind. I should have been listening. I should have just considered more options and just not been so one track minded, I guess is what they say. And I think that's a fine thing to think. I think that it would be accurate, but I also feel like it would be doing a disservice to yourself, because sometimes it is important to have that one track mind. Sometimes it is important to be laser focused on something, right? And I think that your laser focus for those 8 months was very well spent. I feel like it will have opened a lot of doorways. I feel like it will have cleared a lot of pathways for you forward. I feel like you will have learned a lot because you would have been one track minded. You would have focused a lot of your attention and intention around learning and practicing and preparing and studying and just moving forward on that path. And so I would say when you do look back on this 8 months from now, I would just remind yourself that we go in different phases. There are certain times when we are more fluid and flowy and we just follow our intuition and we just do what we feel like it. And then there's other times when we're supposed to be more masculine, energy oriented and just driven and going and taking action. And neither approach is wrong. It's just about what phase and cycle we're in and what season we're in at that particular time and what's being called through us. So I think a lot of times we think that we learn from experience, or we think that we learn from hindsight. Hindsight's 2020, and absolutely we do, for sure. And that's a really big part of what I find fascinating about my life is when I look back and have a lot of videos around that. But one thing that I struggle with that I'm feeling to share with you guys is I also look back, and when I think about all the things that I've learned, I think, man, I wish I'd already known that. I wish I was back then having that information that I have now. Like, I shouldn't have done things the way that I did. Yeah, I learned a lot, but clearly that was the wrong way to go about it. And instead of seeing it as growth and instead of seeing it as purely positive, I see it as a reason to tell myself that I made mistakes, to tell myself that I didn't really understand things as much as I did. But isn't life just a series of understanding something and then being confused, and then understanding something and then being confused, and then understanding something and then being confused? Isn't that literally like the whole cycle of life over and over and over again? So if we're to beat ourselves up for that every single time, we're gonna have a really sad and disappointed life. Life's gonna be hard because that is what life is. So if you beat yourself up for what life just is, it's gonna be hard. What else? So should you instead take the approach of, you know what, I'm going to be one track minded, but maybe I should keep my eyes open for other things and keep an open mind about other things? so that I don't look back and regret it. And I would say you can if you want to, but my feel is that would leave you very scattered. And whatever this thing is, this path that you're paving, it seems newer to me. It seems more foundational. So maybe, I know we're going to talk about love, but I guess we're going to have the example of career right now. Maybe you're starting a new career. And so if you were to jump here and here and here and here and here and here, yeah, some of that is useful because you want to understand the company you're working with and what other people in your organization, in your department do so that you can understand how all the pieces fit together. But if you're just kind of being super high level about everything, the pieces are not really going to click as deeply as they could because you're just being scattered about it. But if you worked on what you need to work on and kind of kept an open mind, but really had that one-track mind, you would be a master of what you came here to do. You'd be really successful. And then when you went out to learn what other people are doing, well, you have an area of mastery. So you have something deeper to relate things to, and therefore it will serve you to learn those things then. And I feel like you're supposed to be an expert in something right now anyway, so to jump around, I feel would not really serve you as much as you think. I don't think you should avoid jumping around. I don't think you should cut it out completely, but I would think about it in terms of percentages, maybe 5 to 10% jump around, but the other 90% give yourself that one-track mind kind of effort. So bringing it into love, because we're going to read about love, but I was tapping into more collective energy because I do like to start broad and then kind of work my way down because the reading is significantly more accurate because we get that greater context. And then also when you get your answer, you're not just like, but why? Why does it have to be that way? You have the whole context and you're like, okay, no, I hear you, I'm good, I agree, we're good, universe. So anyways, let's bring this as an example to love, and then I will tune into love and then we'll pull out the cards. So with love, maybe you're starting a new relationship or maybe you're starting a new round of a relationship, right? Whenever you start a new round of a relationship, you are essentially starting a new relationship, even if it's with a past partner, because since the time that you've been with them, your energy has shifted. Both of you have changed. Both of you have grown. Both of you have a whole new perspective. Hindsight's 2020, like I was saying. So you're coming to the relationship like two different people, similar people, but still different people than you were when you left the relationship the last time. So regardless of the scenario, you may be entering into a new relationship, and maybe you do need to be one-track minded about it. Maybe in the past, neither one of you was committed enough. And so in order for you two to be successful, you need to be committed for 8 months to each other and really building up the right foundation of that relationship. So that then when you go off and do your other things, neither one of you feels like, oh, I don't know if this person really likes me. They keep doing other things. You guys have already built that really strong foundation of affection and love and understanding together to where when you want to go do something, you can communicate it in a way that is appropriate versus just doing it and then the other person being like, oh, okay. What happened? Be like, oh, okay, you want to go do that. Cool, I understand. And then the other person can receive it because they're just like, oh, okay, yeah, no, we spend a lot of time together. I feel like, I feel really connected to you. Of course, go off and do whatever it is that you need to do. Because when you're in the early stages, you don't have that strong foundation of connection. And so anything that somebody does, we read in a completely different way. And then that can create some issues. So the foundation, the one track, however it applies in your life, is important right now. Because then at the end of that 8 months, you might look back and be like, oh my goodness, I completely let go of my own hobbies, my own interests, my friends, and I shouldn't have done that. That wasn't well-rounded. It was too desperate. But it wasn't. You two needed that. Because even though maybe you let go of certain other things to an extent, what you're putting here is an investment in your future. You want to have that stability. It's an investment in your future for the future of your relationship and where you would like it to go. So you didn't lose, you gained so much more than if you had just been more haphazard about the relationship. And then it would take you longer to establish that, and maybe it would fall apart if you didn't put in the energy and that focus. Because then you guys would be reading the signals all wrong, thinking, oh, they're always off doing other things, being all well-rounded, which could be the intention that you have, but it's taken in a different way as, oh, they don't like me. Maybe I should just end this and find somebody who does. And both of you would be doing that. So here you two are both committing to building a strong foundation, and then you can go off and bring other people into what you two are creating together. versus trying to fit each other into your separate things. You guys are building something together and bringing everybody else and everything else into the fold with you. Okay? All right. Anything on love specifically? Look, we do have bottom of the deck all about love, so I guess we are picking the right topic. So let's see. What do I feel regarding love and the collective? Aha! Love is in the air. So at the time that I am actually reading this, it is May 22nd. But this isn't going to go out for a few weeks. So what I feel of the energy right now, love is not in the air. But what I feel of the energy by the time this is going to go out, oh yeah. Love is in the air. Love is in a good place. It's there. We can smell it. We can feel it. Maybe we can't grab it, but we know, we feel it. It's around us. So this is good for a variety of different reasons, but it also has some negatives to it. It's good because if you're looking for love, or if you want to enhance the love that you're currently in, awesome. But also, if you're not in a relationship and you're looking for love, well, love is in the air. Everybody's got the bug. But just because they got the bug, is the bug going to last? Does a cold last when you catch a cold bug? Does it last? No, it goes away eventually. It fades. So the love bug could be like a cold. You could think of it like a cold, except that it's a pleasant one, obviously. But it's something that could go away. So it's nice that love is in the air, but it's really hard to tell if the love that we're feeling or the love that we're receiving from somebody is here to stay. Is it lasting? Is it real? Or is it just what's in the air right now? Is it something that's grounded, or is it just in the air? So, what does that mean? So then, Trishna, do I participate in the love that's in the air? Or do I avoid the love that's in the air? You do both. Excuse me, I'm very hungry. You do both. So that means that you open yourself up to love, but that you exercise discernment. That you don't necessarily throw yourself all in, but you exercise discernment. You put in the work that's required, like we talked about, that one-track mind, but do that when something's established. Do that when you know, when both of you guys are like, hey, let's be exclusive about this. That's when you do that. Before that, though, you exercise more discernment. You still exercise discernment here, but I feel like whoever you pick, if you guys pick each other and you're like, let's do this, let's be one track, that person's good. Keep going with that. Because that relationship might have an ending, but that relationship might come back yet again 2 months later and be something that person could be your life partner. I think there's a pretty strong probability. So you don't want to avoid love, but you do want to practice discernment, especially in the dating phase, because everybody's got the love bug. So you might just be loving on someone that you don't actually love, and they might be loving you back, but they don't actually love you. So just practice discernment. The person who wants to be exclusive with you is not just having the bug, right? The person who has the bug will be flitting around everywhere like, yeah, you're great. And then next day they're talking to someone else, you're great, I love you. And next they're talking to a different person, you're great. But not really wanting to settle around because they're just in that air of love. So that's why if there's somebody that's like, no, let's be exclusive, they're a good chance. This is a good time for that. Also, this is a timeless video, so even though this is coming out in a few weeks, whenever you receive this message is when you're supposed to. Okay. What else? Wow, these are some intense cards here. Anything else from an intuitive perspective? Jeez. Okay. Okay. I can't see that. There we go. Okay, let me just tune in intuitively around love. Okay. No, I think everything I want to come out intuitively is good. I'm very confused by these cards because we got the Devil, we got the Ten of Wands, we got the Six of Swords, and we got the Five of Cups. And all of these are really not about love. Not positive for anything, really, for the most part. Unless you're a Capricorn. And all the positive energies are in the present and the past. But anyways, we read things intuitively, so let's see. Okay, so love is in the air. You feel it. It's around you. You're in those vibes. It feels good. This is not the future. Six of Swords. This is what you're worried about. What if things don't work out? What if love is in the air right now and I miss out on this potent time? What if it passes me by? And then I'm here on my own. And I don't mind being on my own. That's okay. But sometimes life itself is hard to deal with on my own. Sometimes disappointments, it'd be really great to have a shoulder to cry on. And I don't mean that in a selfish way. I'd love to have someone who would love to cry on my shoulder too. I want to give as much as I get. This does not have to be your future. The Five of Cups, that's the bottom of the deck. The theme, maybe you're coming into this reading thinking, oh, I don't think this is ever going to work out for me. I don't think love is in the cards for me. And you know what? The cards reflect what you feel. They're not really in the cards, but they only reflect your energy and your vibe right now. They don't reflect what is certain to happen. They reflect what's likely to happen because this is what you're vibrating. This is what you're vibrating. This is what you're going to get. But even then, the universe likes to help us out and try to throw us a bone every once in a while. Help get us out of our funk. But love is in the cards. You don't see it because you don't feel like it is, but it is. I put a lot of work into my relationships. It's been heavy. It's been hard. It's been a lot of work. I love doing the work. I would do it again in a heartbeat. I would do it again for the people in my past, the same people. I'd do it again. But I just wish the universe would give me something back. I have no regrets about it. It's not that I want something in return, but I kind of would like something in return, universe. At what point is it my time? Maybe somebody in your past, an ex, got married or got engaged. And it's just like, I poured so much into that person. We both grew, and that includes them. They grew. But I'm the one that's left out in the cold. I'm the one that's left out in the dust. Who's my person? When do I find them? Spirit says, you gotta get out of this. Gotta get out of these mentalities. It's not going to serve you. Don't look to them. Don't look to what's happening with them. None of that matters. Look to what's going on with me. What's going on with me? What am I open for? What am I ready for? Am I open? You're not open. You're not open because you're focused on the past. You're focused on all the things you did in the past. Don't focus on that. Let it go. I had so much fun before. Life was good. I felt happy. My life felt like it was on track. Now I'm not so sure. I don't even know where I'm heading. How can I know if it's on track if I don't even know where I'm going? Oh, sweet little angels. This doesn't have to be your future. In fact, I don't think it is. I think because you've already listened to the first part of this reading, you know what's up. You know what's to come. You still got to do some healing work, right? Because just hearing a good fortune to come, it can make us feel good in the moment, but then in our dark moments we doubt it or we forget about it. So still some healing that you need to do. But yeah, see? Queen of Cups. I told you. Love is in the cards. It just wasn't showing up for you because you didn't think that it was. And it's going to reflect what you think is going to happen. But it's changed. The energy's changed now. I think some of you are praying for a partner, praying for love, praying for somebody to give you something, just Spirit, just gosh, help me out, man. Come on, give me somebody. That's all I ask. I just want a partner. Don't I deserve that? But guys, I would cut that out. Because it's coming from whiny energy. That's okay. There's no judgment, okay? We all have that. I for sure have my own little pity parties. Okay. So, no judgment. But whiny energy is not going to get you very far. So, Spirit says, love is in the air for you. But maybe stop asking us for it. Maybe start living your life. Maybe get involved in other areas of your life for now. Love is in the air. Let people come find you. Release, heal. Let go. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Do not sink to your depths, guys. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't give up. Yeah, don't. Just don't. Just don't. It's not worth it. Why give up on this great fortune? Just because your emotions are taking control of you, don't let them do that. You gotta release. You gotta release the emotions, whatever way you can. If you need to write down all your feelings, all your hurts, and then you burn it, do that. If you gotta write down all your feelings and your hurts and you bury it, do that. Because your wishes are going to come true. You're going to find your partner. It's going to happen. But you have to stop. Really, really, really cut out the whole, now my exes are married. And look at me. Don't do that. Cut it out, cut it out, cut it out. You're not meant to be alone. Unless you want to be alone, then by all means, but if you don't want to, you're not meant to be. Your prayers are being heard, but you got to do your part. You got to let go of all this stuff. You cannot sink to the depths. But yeah, this is what's in store for you. If you work on this stuff, this is what's in store for you. Your wish is fulfilled. And your partner. Love. Connection. Alright, you guys. I hope that this served you. I was wondering if we should do affirmations together, but I'm actually feeling like maybe not in this video. But if any of you are interested in a personal reading, you can find me in my Etsy shop at etsy.com/shop/psychicts. You can also visit the links below. I do also have a self-paced Lightworkers activation code that will give you weeks and weeks worth of activations, DNA activations, spiritual activations, chakra cleansings, auric field strengthening, so much good stuff. And I will catch you guys in the next one.